Welcome back. So sad that you're not in class today, but we are going to take some notes over informational texts, and we're going to actually use the article out of your workbook. So you're going to want to have both your ISN out and your workbook because you're going to need the notes in both places. Okay, so make sure you have them both out, and then anything we write in our ISN, make sure you also transfer over to your workbook. Okay, so that's just a heads up. Make sure you fill out your table of contents. And also make sure you fill out the top of the page with the date and annotating informational text for me, okay? And let's get started. You're gonna need some foldables. Okay, so you are gonna need the foldable that says annotating informational text 7th grade only, and then also the annotating informational text. That's this color, okay? Make sure you have today's date and annotating informational text at the top. So make sure you also have page numbers. In class, I'm actually using my ISN. This is just a supplemental one so that I can do the video for you, okay? So you're gonna take this Venus Violet one that says on April 4th, and you're gonna tape it in. Don't use a lot of tape. I'm actually going to go really close because I realized that when I was taking notes, I really struggled because I can't write on the tape. So you're going to tape all 4 corners down. Okay, and then this one is going to go over on this side. Okay, so this this passage that I have on here for you is from our Common Lit. Sorry, my Elmo is getting like loose. Won't stay where I want it to. It is from our article that we are reading, the Blue-Eyed, Brown-Eyed Exercise. So I just took, it's almost the full front page. It doesn't actually make it all the way down, okay? So that's why this is exactly out of our workbooks. So that's why the notes need to go in here and in your workbook, okay? So right over here is the steps that I want you to take when you annotate. The first thing I want you to do, and sorry for the typo, not mine, is underline keywords. Okay, so keywords or words you do not understand, and then write the definitions in the margins. So when we're looking at this, here's some of the words that your classmates chose. So like they had assassinated. So then we're going to bring it out here and we're going to say murder of public figure. Okay, because they felt like that was really an important word. They also did segregation. So separation based on traits, I think is what we said. Okay, so like that's what they pulled out of there. Not necessarily words they didn't know, but words that they felt were really important words to understand. Okay, when we came down to the second paragraph, we underlined the word minority. And this is the smaller group. It's usually what a minority is. We also did chastised. And we said like that was scolded or disciplined. Okay, and then we went down to the last paragraph and we did resistance, which we talked about yesterday in class. Okay, so fighting back. And then we also did melanin, which I had to call Mrs. Galletti to find out this is the pigment that gives skin color. It's kind of important to know that melanin gives skin color, because if you actually read this, she says that the melanin is responsible for making children blue-eyed was also linked to the higher intelligence. Well, melanin isn't in your eyes. It's the pigment for your skin. So it has absolutely nothing to do with your eyes. So one of the reasons why this is kind of important is because it's a lie. Okay, she tells a lie here. Okay. Before you start taking notes, make sure you read this. I did read it out loud to the class. Okay, so like that's the first thing you're going to do. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to put a star next to essential points, phrases, or details. And then in the margin, you're going to explain why this is important. So here's some things that your classmates also said. So we also put a star next to the assassination. And we talked about that this was the basis of the experiment. Okay, so that's why that was like a key idea. They also thought her asking the children if they would like to try the exercise to feel what it would be like to be treated the way a person of color is treated. They felt like that was also important. Okay, so we only did the stars for this very first one. They did it on their own for the rest. Okay, then we did this next one where we put a question mark. Okay, so put a question mark next to a passage that seems confusing or where you needed to do additional research. So the one we did here was we went down to this last paragraph, and this melanin, I had to call Mrs. Galletti, so I obviously had to do more research. Okay, so we put the question mark and put what is this? Okay, but this, for when you're confused, that's fine. But what we also talked about was also underlining like big ideas that would be good for discussion. So we also underline here where it says shortly thereafter the initial resistance fell away. Those who were deemed superior became arrogant, bossy, and otherwise unpleasant. So we asked, why did they stop fighting? Because that'll be a really good discussion question. So like they can ask that question and get a discussion going. Okay. The last thing is to label each paragraph with a number. Okay, and you should know based from last year, I like you guys to number the paragraphs just because then when you guys are having a classroom discussion, you can say in paragraph 2, it states. Okay, then it says in the margin, summarize each paragraph in 1 word. I'm okay with 2 words. So we really only did this, well, we numbered all of our paragraphs. Okay, but then we only summarized paragraph number 2. So what they did was they wrote the word examples. Like that was what we decided was how that works. So what you need to do, okay, these are our required ones. So these top 4 are the ones I expect you to do anytime I assign it. These are optional. Okay. Really, one of the reasons is like this first one is highlighting the main idea. Well, we technically, in my opinion, when you put this star and you put this summary, you already did that. If we are reading something that has figurative language, I would like you guys to put boxes around it. This one doesn't have any. Put a circle around the author's opinion. There's really no opinion in this one either. So when we get to some that have some opinion, I probably will add that one. And here's another one. If there's anything that you think is surprising or stands out to you, I want you to put that exclamation point in there, okay? So this is the notes that we took, and then homework was finish annotating. So in your workbook, so I want your workbook annotated, okay? Send me a picture of your annotated workbook so that I can just make sure you did that correctly. Then make sure that you, so that's the big thing, is just finish annotating that article, okay?